الله أكبر الله أكبر.
تفضل يا مولانا.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
سبحان الذي سخر لنا هذا
سخر لنا هذا
وما كنا له مقرنين وإنا إلى ربنا لمنقلبون. اللهم إنا نسألك في سفرنا هذا البر والتقوى ومن العمل ما ترضى. اللهم هون علينا سفرنا هذا واطوي عنا بعده. اللهم أنت الصاحب في السفر
والخليفة في الأهل.
اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من وعثاء السفر
وكآبة المنظر وسوء المنقلب في المال والأهل والولد. تمام مولانا. What are your goals إن شاء الله over there? Did you set up some goals for this?
I think like last time I went for Hajj and Umrah, this was like 2.5 years ago, and the Prophet ﷺ said like Al-Umrah wal-Hajj kafaratun lima baynahuma. So I wanna get rid of all the sins I had during this time and make a tawbah from everything sin I'm doing, consistently doing, or anything.
That looks like you made a lot.
Yeah, Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us like the tawfiq to make tawbah and pray as much as we can over there.
What about you, Adhiya? What are your goals, inshallah, from this trip?
First one's just eat.
Is what?
Sleep.
Eat? Sleep?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. My goals, inshallah, is to memorize the juz, inshallah.
MashaAllah.
And to, I think we're supposed to read, inshallah, read the whole Quran over the 11 days. I don't know, is that possible?
Listen.
Is that possible?
Yeah.
Inshallah. Yeah, that's my goals, inshallah.
MashaAllah. You will listen and read the whole Quran, inshallah, correct?
Yeah, listen and read the whole Quran and memorize the juz, inshallah.
Okay. Assuming that you will be awake during the trip.
Yeah.
My understanding, hey Adhiya, wake up, يعني, we arrived back from the
Sometimes I
Umrah.
can memorize during my sleep.
Noor, eat, huh?
My goal is to listen to the whole Quran and review everything that I used to know.
Review everything that you used to know?
Yeah.
Let's see, inshallah, you used to know a lot, ya Noor, in the old days. What about you, Haytham?
Inshallah, memorize the juzu, read or listen to the whole Quran, inshallah, and try to be more energized in the morning. So, yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah. Yes.
Sheikh, what's your goals,
For
inshallah?
me, inshallah, I have 5 goals. Goal number 1, inshallah, is just reading Quran slowly and trying to think about every single ayah that I read or listen to the Quran. As I told you, I got the headphones that will load the Quran, so listen and inshallah read the Quran. So this is goal number 1 in reading the Quran. The second goal, ya shabab, is the ibadah of tafakkur, which means whatever we are doing in the quiz, everything that I see, I would like to give myself some time to do ibadah tafakkur, to think of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to record my Khateras as much as I can, as much as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would give me. The third one is to make sure that I'm consistent in saying al-adhkar and understand what I'm saying in al-adhkar. Number 4 is to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I hope I can get all the dua that tamkeeners want me to say. I already started to get some requests for dua, and I asked our quiz manager to make the quiz about the dua, so I get what tamkeeners want to get in dua, and I want to spend some time in dua. Number 5, inshallah, some opportunity to restructure my life. Think of how we can make things better, inshallah, in the future, how we can make tamkeen better. So it is an opportunity to reset our lives, inshallah, and think for the future, bi'znillah. Barakallah. I know.
Still thinking.
I have no idea, Sheikh, what to say.
لا you have يا شباب يعني ايه؟ طب any idea regarding the movie that you have watched?
I was gonna say something about like every time the intercom comes on, the movie pauses and you can't do anything with the touch screen. But I don't know how to relate it.
الله المستعان.
My Khateras is going to be so in the beginning when we first were going to Seattle, we had to pray Salat al-Fajr, and we had to just find a spot and pray, and we found a corner, and you notice that next to the corner there was the escalator, and people are coming down, hundreds and hundreds of people, but you see that as Muslims, we didn't care. We just prayed, we did what we had to do, and we prayed, and then we went on our day. And also, when I was making wudu in the bathroom, Sheikh was making the comment, who are those weird people that are putting their feet up on the bathroom? But subhanAllah, no, it's serious, because you see people that go downtown Seattle or downtown anywhere, and they'll do weird moves and like naked, and they don't care. And subhanAllah, we have Muslims that care and are fearful of people that'll see them praying, and so it's very weird that we're scared and to do something that's right and to do something that's what our deen says to do, while other people are doing something that's wrong and they don't care. And so I just wanted to relate that today. That's my khatira.
Barakallah feek. And some people putting their feet in the sink and whatever.
Yeah.
Weird people.
I have like that's what I had before moving to or picking me up from house. Like the khasra came to my mind, like I was trying to pray with her, like while praying, and like the first thing to came to my mind that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me the opportunity, and like for the group we have right now to go and do Umrah. So alhamdulillah for that. This is the main thing came to mind. Alhamdulillah الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا نهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. Like maybe it's a much more easier way to go to Umrah for me the first time. Like I have been 2 times before, but this was the first time I was able to apply. I get it on time with no drama happening in the middle. So alhamdulillah for giving us the opportunity to go.
You never know, we are not there yet.
Yeah, Allah Alam. But alhamdulillah that we got the opportunity to visit his house, and may Allah accept from us. And since he invited us, so we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept us, since he gave us the invitation. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept us.
Anything else, Shabab? Bismillah. First, Adiyah give introduction. Today it's Friday.
Today is Friday, Jum'ah. We just prayed Fajr.
We prayed Fajr.
Followed with Salat al-Janazah. So we just finished Salat al-Janazah.
And we have made, alhamdulillah, our Umrah. We're just remaining to shave, and we should be done with our Umrah. Yalla Adiyah.
It's a good question, actually. Do they do Janazah every Friday?
They do Janazah with every fard, most likely.
Oh, with every fard.
Because just people die and they bring them over here to pray. So with every fard, and it is not only one janazah. If you hear the imam, it is not, he said, let's pray on the deceased with the plural noun or pronoun for the deceased of the Muslim. So it is not one, it is multiple people who do Salat al-Janazah every fard. Ya Allah.
What I thought was really amazing, especially for Umrah, maybe not one of the main aspects, but what I thought was amazing about Umrah is that people all around the world, I mean even for Hajj, people all around the world come to one place and they come here and you don't know them. They don't know you, you don't know them. They could be the richest person in the world and you're wearing 2 garments and they're wearing 2 garments. They could be the poorest person in the world, you're wearing 2 garments, they're wearing 2 garments. So there's no difference between you and them. And so this provides humbleness inside your heart, you know? And so you stay humbled and they stay humbled, because there could be somebody that's very poor and very rich and they're the same. So I thought that was amazing.
Barakallah fik ya Adiyah. What are the thoughts that came to your mind during your Umrah overnight?
So seeing the Kaaba is really a life-changing experience.
It's your first time, Haytham, am I correct?
Yes, it's my first time. Back home, praying to the Qibla, you just pray to the Qibla, but now really you're praying to the Kaaba, mashallah, subhanallah. It's really amazing to see something like this. And making the Umrah is really nice. It's pretty interesting. Our legs hurt from doing the Umrah, walking around. There's a lot of people, a lot of pushing. Alhamdulillah, we got through it. Alhamdulillah. Thank you to Sheikh Howie.
Like I want to continue in what
A
Diaz
little
said.
closer to him عشان الساوند.
Like Diaz mentioned, like too many people are attending from different places, from different countries. Like imagining like everyone is talking a different language. Everyone has his own ask to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everyone has his own problems. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is able to listen to all of them at the same time, to answer all these questions at the same time, to give everyone his ask at the same time. So that's amazing. Like when we think about that, everyone is making like different dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is accepting from everyone at the same time. Alhamdulillah. May Allah make us from the accepted people in this Umrah.
Jazakallah khair.
Get closer.
When I started the tawaf, I saw a lot of people had different intentions when making tawaf. Some people were actually making tawaf, crying, making dua. Other people were just walking around and chatting. Other people were walking around pushing everyone and fighting for the Hajar al-Aswad. So you really see like who actually like cares and makes dua to Allah. That's it.
بارك الله فيك يا أبو.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. Yalla, Sheikh.
يلا بسم الله. والله I don't know يعني given that brother Amhawi, he said that we have to stay till Shuruq and we still have about 45 minutes. We are not allowed to go to have our breakfast till the Shuruq comes. So I can يعني go for 45 minutes, correct? No, I want to go and sit inshallah closer to the Kaaba. But for sure few things يعني that came to my mind yesterday. The first one is the dua of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam when he was making dua for us thousands of years ago. When he said after he said ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. Oh Allah, accept it from me and my son. What did he say after this? Who's memorizing Surah Al-Baqarah? ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم ربنا واجعلنا مسلمين لك. Oh Allah, make the two of us Muslims to you. But then you see Prophet Ibrahim after this he started to switch gears and make dua not for himself and for Ismail alayhim salam, but making dua for us. وَمِن ذُرِّيَّتِنَا أُمَّةً مُسْلِمَةً لَكَ. And from our descendants, Ummah, that is going to be Muslims to you, Allah. And now I'm saying if Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam made this dua to us thousands of years ago, and he had us in his mind thousands of years ago, do we have the coming generations who are going to live thousands of years in the future in our minds? Are we really investing in teaching the youth so we take care of the coming generations? Yes or no? And even the other thing, يعني, when we were making sa'i between the Safa and the Marwa, why do we have to jog in the area where Hajar, the wife of Ibrahim alayhi salam, was jogging? And she was jogging because when she steps on top of the mountain, she could see her baby. But once she is in the middle of the valley, she cannot see her baby, so she needs to run to go up to the mountain, so her baby is going to be within her line of sight. So she cares for her baby. Until this point in time, we run in this area. Would that remind us we need to care for our babies the same way Hajar cared for her baby? Or do we just يعني give birth and we throw them in the trash? Who cares? يعني إيه? Let's send them to the babysitting. Let's send them somewhere else. We'll take care of them. I hope يعني after this Umrah, it becomes our mission in life that yes, we need to take care of coming generation, and we want to make sure that our admins take care of the coming generation. Correct يا شباب?
Inshallah.
بارك الله فيكم, and may Allah reward you the best. And don't forget يا شباب to make dua for all the tamkeeners that inshallah sometime soon we come again for Umrah and we have all the tamkeeners with us. We wallahi miss them so much, and I would love inshallah, or I wish that all of them are with us today, but inshallah we make dua that we make another Umrah inshallah and we get all the tamkeeners together, and I wallahi remember them one by one and name by name every minute. And even if you see the video that I recorded, whenever we heard the adhan, I was joking. I said, who brought Taysir over here? Is he the one who is making the adhan over here? But I really remember every single one of tamkeeners and of admins. May Allah reward you the best. And see you by tomorrow, inshallah, in tomorrow's Khateras. Jazakumullah khair.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh.
Yalla, bismillah.
Okay, so when we were going to the Salat al-Fajr and we were trying to enter the Kaaba so we can pray around the Kaaba instead of on the outside, the doors closed right in front of us. So this reminded me of when you're going to Jannah and you're about to enter and then the door of Jannah just closes right in front of you, and you're not able to enter Jannah, how you'd feel.
So can you give some context to the other tamkeeners why the doors were closed and what time did you go?
So this was for Fajr time, and I think we left an hour and a half early.
Okay,
we
so
left an hour early.
Fajr is at 5:30.
Yeah.
And to make it to the main mataf or to the main place over there, you were there 1 hour before.
Yeah.
And it was already full.
And we couldn't enter.
And you could not enter.
We could pray around the
because
Kaaba.
you were late.
Because we were.
So make sure, if you were late entering the Kaaba, make sure that you are not late entering the Jannah. You don't want to get the doors of Jannah closed and you are left behind. Barakallah feek ya Noor. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. Today is Saturday, the 14th, right? 14th? I think so. Okay. So we tried to go pray Fajr, and as Noor said, the doors closed. But after Fajr, we decided that me, Noor, and Liya, we were gonna go to the Kaaba and at least like either try to touch the black stone or try to pray in the Hajar Ismail. But as we were getting closer to it, alhamdulillah, we tried to get closer to it, we were like, oh my gosh, subhanAllah, it's really close, we're almost there. And then that's when all the trouble happened, the pushing, the shoving, all of that stuff. Yani, it's really sad to see like all that happening right in front of the Kaaba as well. So, and then what else? We were trying to go. So we got really close to Hajar Ismail, and we were trying to get in, and Noor got in. Alhamdulillah, so mashallah, so good, that's good. I tried to get in, and Liat tried to get in, but we couldn't because there was too many people shoving, pushing, all that kind of stuff. People coming out, people coming in. Had to even the people trying to come out, there was not even enough room for people to come out. Everyone was trying to just try to go in. And there was a lot of people crying, there was a lot of people struggling, there was a lot of people, old people, just struggling to get out, and subhanAllah, it was really bad, it was a very bad state. At one point we saw, me and Leah, we saw one guy, like an old guy, struggling to try to get out, like everybody, people are holding him up so that he keeps on standing. And me and Leah, we tried to make like room and space for people to, for him to get out. So it's really sad that people don't even can't see that people are struggling. There's like old people like struggling, falling to the ground. Like people don't see that, and it's kind of really sad. It's really sad.
You can inshallah try again tomorrow or the day after, but without pushing anyone. If Allah made it easy for you to touch Al-Hajar Al-Aswad or to pray in Hajar Ismail, that's okay. But if you are not able, do not push anyone. And the Prophet ﷺ used to tell the companions and even tell Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu that you are strong, do not push anyone. And again, the main thing, ya shabab, here you see people who are pushing to make all the way over there. But for the sake of Allah, do not push anyone. Keep your hands down, keep it to yourself, do not push anyone. And make sure, for sure it is bigger reward to have mercy on other people.
Yeah, at one point we decided, khalas, this is not going to work out, it's too much pushing, shoving, and I'm not going to try to push people, I'm not going to hurt people. We just decided to go. And yeah, we like, oh khalas, we're going to go and we're going to hold on to each other. Allah Shaykh, everyone just started taking everyone away. We're like, okay, Leah, everyone meet at the blue, the gate over there. Khalas, and then everyone, we all just spread out, I don't know where we went. And I just started going to the gates. Alhamdulillah, we met over there.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Wasn't really good.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I think my khatir is going to be a little bit similar to Haytham's. I don't want to copy anybody, but this was really on my mind just because it was today after Fajr during Shuruq time. It's obviously going to be different because my khatir is going to be a little bit about organization. So when Haytham was saying that me and him went and Noor entered Hijr Ismail, so Noor entered. As we were entering, we saw this old man. Yani, some people had to hold him up because he was literally going to fall. He could barely walk. And that's the first thing I want to say. Yani, I don't think that area should be, although it should be for everybody, the state that it's in, I don't think old people or the women should go enter there. It's just not. Like if you could see what we saw, yani, you would say the same thing. Maybe right now you're saying, oh, why not? Everybody should be equal or whatever. But when you go,
it will be posted on the Tamkeen social media, and the girls are gonna yani, for sure pick up on this. Yes.
Like, it's okay. Yeah. It was so tight, yani. What I'm saying is, what I mean by organization is, I feel like if there's people dedicated to have this, yani, maybe a line or some sort of, yani, way to organize the people where they're not shoving. Because even there was somebody shoving my back, and I turned around and I told him, yani, haddi, yani, calm down, you know? And he told me, okay. Yani, so I think, although there's always going to be people that don't care, and if you talk to them and you tell them, and there's people that is designated for this, I think it could work for sure. And I think this can relate to everybody's lives, hatta, yani, if you don't organize and if you're just all over the place, yani, this is failure for sure.
So do you think that the Haram, given it is a representation of the entire Muslim Ummah, do you think the behavior you see in the Haram is a representation of the behavior of the Muslim Ummah worldwide?
Wow, Sheikh, I didn't even think of that. But now that you say it, for sure. for sure, yeah.
Some people have mercy on others,
Yeah.
but some people are pushing, and some people, for sure. So again, those people are coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
Some people, they follow the rules, some people, they do not.
Yes.
Okay. Some people are very clean, some people they throw trash. Again, it's the Muslim Ummah, and the more we educate the Muslim Ummah, you can see here as a representation or a reflection of the entire Muslim Ummah.
Like, hatta the women, I don't know if any of the Tamkeen girls is gonna yani, start yelling at me or not, but you should see the way they're treating the women over there. They don't care, yani, hatta men just shoving, they don't care. Older women, yani, it's
and even here, the security guards over here, they push the women the same way they are pushing mosquitoes from some places, correct?
Yeah.
Barakallah fika.
Started? Bismillah wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My khatir this time is about time. I don't know if they got our recording yet about our goals of what we want to do yet. But that's all in the essence of time and how much time we had and how much time we planned what we were going to do. Whether it's Quran reading, Quran memorization, Quran listening, all of it was time orientated. I don't want to tell you how much I've done so far or how much I haven't done so far. But
You pledged to memorize what juz, to listen to the whole Quran, to read the whole Quran. That was your pledge on the way over here. I hope you are on track,
Yes.
but you still have a lot of time.
yeah, okay. So inshallah by the end of the Umrah trip, I'll have that goal done. But it's really like you need
Done
to,
by you
Huh? Yes,
or
inshallah.
done by someone else? Or divided between you and your
Inshallah,
friends?
divided between all of us, inshallah. No, inshallah done by me, but this yani applies to everybody's life in general. You know, you need time. You need to organize your time well. And if you don't organize your time well, you're just gonna be going backwards. Honestly, it's just you're making goals and you're failing them, and it's not a good look, yani. As you guys see, Kampawi's. Can you turn around? Please. You see on his back, do or do not. There's no try. Okay, so you either do it or you don't. That's my thought.
Barakallah.
Yesterday we had like a great time. Like he went to Al-Hajar Aswad and he didn't try to kiss it, but he was trying to guide people over there, like not to do whatever they were doing, like pushing everyone, trying to have fights with everyone, just like to kiss the Hajar Aswad. And while being there, I think for him he would have multiple stuff people are doing over there, like kissing the clothes of the Kaaba. They are doing like some weird stuff over there. So there are two things that came to my mind. The first thing is you won't be able to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the right way until you know who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And to know that, you need to seek knowledge, and it's something like very mandatory to be able to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the right way. Like we say that we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we fast to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but if you don't know who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this doesn't make sense. And you will be able to make like a lot of mistakes, and you'll be like pushed to make mistakes, and you'll be doing a lot of weird things that is not relevant to Islam, is not related to Islam in any way. This is the second thing. That's the first thing. The second thing, actually, like if someone, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has the light of Iman in his heart, he won't be able to see something like worship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because if someone is like touching the clothes, kissing the clothes of the Kaaba or whatever, he's kind of like making a partner to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the clothes of the Kaaba or whatever, which is not the right thing. And if someone like he has a light, he won't be able to stand and pray with that. He would have a hard time seeing that, and he would be starting guiding people and يأمر بالمعروف وينهى عن المنكر for the things wrong he sees in his life around. And those two things are related to each other. You need to seek knowledge, and once you seek knowledge, you'll be able to have the light in your heart and ask people to do the good deed, join God, forbidding the evil.
So I see a lot of people they'll like put their whole body on the Kaaba and try to like, as if they're trying to get the barakah from the Kaaba. And I get the impression that they're like worshipping the Kaaba instead of worshipping Allah, and they're doing shirk with Allah. And like some people even like take their hat and start rubbing it on the Kaaba wall as if they're trying to like take the barakah. And yeah, I feel like they come here, they spend money, they spend time, and at the end they're just doing shirk with Allah.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Don't you think that you are judging them very harsh, ya Noor?
No.
Huh? What is the problem if someone wanna get some barakah, wanna touch the Kaaba? If they're pushing it way too much, okay, but يعني, don't you think that you are getting way too much judgmental on them?
I don't know.
Actually, I was mentioning to them yesterday, like what Umar ibn Khattab said, like when he kissed the Hajar al-Aswad, he said like, Wallahi, like I would never kiss you, but the Prophet ﷺ like kissed you, like I know like that you are just a stone, like that like you're not bringing any benefit or pushing anything bad. So this is what Umar ibn Khattab said.
Yeah, but my point, yeah, Noor, I wanna make sure يعني do not start looking bad to people who are here, who spend their wealth coming here for the sake of Allah. But at least يعني have good feelings towards your Muslim brother. Do not يعني start by really criticizing them يعني that harsh. Okay? You never know their intention. You never know who is closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you or them. Make sure يعني every time you see your brother doing something, even if you do not like it, make sure that يعني you don't be that harsh on them. Or Allah will send someone to be so harsh on you. Okay?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Kaaba is amazing, mashallah. The prayers here, there's tons of people. There's 1 million people, right? Yeah. But there's a lot of people here, subhanallah. And the vibe out here for Fajr, for every salah, everyone's awake, subhanallah. Mecca, like nobody sleeps in here. Like nobody sleeps. The city is always awake, subhanallah. And this vibe is.
Except you and Noor, طبعا يعني.
Someone has to sleep, يعني. So that everyone can go. But alhamdulillah, يعني, I love this feeling where, even though it's Fajr, it feels like it's like 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Or when it's like 2 a.m., it feels like it's 7 p.m. Like, subhanAllah, it's always crowded, it's always full of people. And one thing I noticed though that it kind of is very disappointing to me is when we pray like jama'ah with people. And for every salah, Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. And once we finish the prayer, as soon as he says Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, everybody starts jumping up and starts trying to go fighting towards the Hajar al-Aswad and Hajar Ismail. And it's very sad because what the Prophet ﷺ, he said, he mentioned that once you finish salah, you're supposed to keep seated and do tadhkir, your tasbih, and all that kind of stuff until you finish and do your sunnah as well. Then you stand up and do your business. But over here, subhanallah, none of them do that, and they stand up right away, run to the Hajar al-Aswad and the Hajar Ismail, and they start fighting. Also, he mentioned the more sins you have, the longer you sit and do tasbih, because the malaika they forgive their sins, right? Yeah. Inshallah. They make dua for them.
Sure طبعا يعني sitting I see what you mean يا هيثم, that as soon as the Imam says Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, they run and rush, really running to the Hajar Aswad or Hajar Ismail, and for sure it does not look that good, but at the same time يا هيثم يعني make an excuse for your Muslim brother. Maybe they want to kiss something that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has kissed. I just want to make sure يعني, you do not look down to any of your Muslim brother at any, especially over here, because يعني, it is not that of a good deed to look down to your Muslim brothers while you are in the Haram. You never know what is in their heart. Maybe they love the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam so much, and they want to kiss it the same way he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has done it. Maybe they do not have that much knowledge. Maybe they are very kind of simple people. But again, while you are here ya shabab, and again, some people are pushing much, some people are doing this. For sure, I'm not saying what they are doing is correct, but have an excuse for your Muslim brother, especially while you are in this location. Okay? Barakallah fikum ya shabab.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. طيب, my khatira, like I kind of want to picture, I want to paint a picture in your mind, so yani, just think a little bit with me. طيب, high school days. Either we've been through it or you're going to go through it, inshallah. High school. 6 or 7 classes, right? Some people take honors, whatever. That's besides the point. 6, 7 classes, طيب. With those 6, 7 classes, طيب, you go to school, you come back, you have 6 or 7 pieces of homework, طيب. If you spend all your time on one piece of homework, you're not gonna pass. If you spend all your time on 2 pieces of homework with those classes, you're not gonna pass. You have to divide up your time evenly or accordingly to how hard those classes are to succeed in those classes. This applies in everything in your life, everything. This is what time management is. You go home, you say, okay, طيب, I'll do my homework later. Later comes. You say, okay, I'm hungry. Let me go eat. طيب, that you eat. Let me watch, yani. So this is what procrastination is, and they say that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. طيب, and I believe in this fully, yani. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you need to plan out your things and manage your time. طيب, I'm gonna put myself in the hot seat, yani. Before we started our Umrah, actually when we were in Frankfurt airport, me, Noor, and Haytham, we made goals for ourselves. It was 3 or 4 goals. For me personally, I was sticking to one goal very strictly, and I forgot about those 2 or 3 other goals. And yani, that's not good. That's not how you want to succeed. Yani, when you plan a goal, you want to finish it. You don't want to just keep planning goals and yani, keep failing those goals. It doesn't feel good. It's not productive. So,
what are you doing? What are you failing?
Huh? Should I say yani?
Go for it, yeah.
طيب, Quran reading, I'm doing really well. Quran memorization and Quran listening, I haven't been doing well at all. Inshallah. And like Sheikh said, he was telling me, he's giving me advice, yani. Before Fajr till Fajr, you set a goal, set smaller goals. Smaller goals are they're easier to accomplish. And so you set those smaller goals, let's say yani, before Fajr till Fajr, you do Quran memorization. Then Fajr till Dhuhr, you do Quran reading. And then from Dhuhr till Asr, you do Quran listening. This is a good way yani, to complete all your goals and finish your goals. You don't want to just stick to one thing or 2 things and forget everything else. And I don't know who said it, but they said if you have a goal and you're not making progress to that goal every single day, then you don't have a goal. That's my thought.
Barakallah feek ya Diya. Inshallah, still have the time. Allah al-Musta'an. Still have time for reading and the memorization, inshallah.
SubhanAllah, when I was coming here, if I made it here before Fajr and I'm able to make it within the Haram circle, and it starts to get crowded, I start hoping, oh yeah, close the gates. And SubhanAllah, it's really crowded at Fajr and you have to come early. Everyone is comes early for Fajr. And this reminds me of how like in Jannah, even though if there's a lot of people, it'll never get crowded. And SubhanAllah, even if it's crowded here, when we're praying, you can still hear the birds chirping. Everyone's quiet. You can hear the Imam perfectly, and it's just a really good experience.
Barakallah fik, Jazakallah.
I have this Khatera like since second day we have arrived here to Makkah. I was sitting here in the same place actually, and there was a woman sitting, like she was making dua, and she had like on her back like a grasshopper, like he came in and sat on her back, and she kept making dua, and then like after some time he left. What came to my mind about that? She is in Mecca and she is making dua, and how dua is valuable here especially, and in general, like dua in general, how it's what happened, like I start thinking it might be like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like pushed away like the harm that might be having with this grasshopper, either being terrified as a woman in general, or either like a normal person, or might be any harm could happen from that. And subhanAllah, she never knew that there was a grasshopper in her back. Like he stayed, and after some time he left, and she never heard that or saw that, or she was able to know like there's something harm could hurt her by time. The interesting part, like when I start thinking about that, she was making dua. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pushing us to make dua to Him, and dua is valuable in Islam. And the Prophet ﷺ said that dua is ibadah, like dua is the ibadah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is being an actual slave to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is making dua. And the Prophet ﷺ said, "Man lam yas'al Allah yaghdab alayh," like whoever is not asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be angry with him. Which is like very interesting, that if you are not making dua, and if you are not asking from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is our Lord, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be angry with you. Like if you went to any king, like and he asked him, like keep asking him, he would be like very bored with what you are asking, and he would start like, why you are asking me a lot? And there was like a small thing, like there was a man, he has his uncle, and his uncle was sitting with him, and he told his uncle like, "Wallahi ya ammi inni la usqul alayka la zurtuka fil yawmi marratayn." Like if like I want to be like so heavy, like visiting you, I'll be visiting you like 2 times. Like then his uncle replied back and said like, "Wallahi innaka la thaqilun alayya fi baytik." Like, oh Allah, by Allah that you are heavy on me, even if you are in your house and you are not visiting me. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us to make dua, and when you make dua, there are 3 things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would guarantee for you. Either Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you what you are asking for, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would postpone it for some time, or either Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would push something harm, or would be like hurting you by time, and you never knew about that. As the grasshopper on the back of the woman while she was making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So keep dua every single thing, and we say dua huwa al-ibadah, and the dua huwa mukh al-ibadah, like it's the brain of the ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So keep making dua and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and have a good fun, a husnul fun with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that whatever you are asking for, either you get it, either it be anything bad will be pushed away, or either Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will prepare you for it by time. Jazakumullah khair.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. As you can see, the people that work here, many of the people that work here, when they put the stuff on the ground, or like the mixing, cleaning on the ground, sometimes they'll take it and they'll start sliding with it while cleaning. And as you see, they're enjoying their time, even if they might not like cleaning. They're doing something to make themselves like the cleaning and enjoy it. And the same can relate with Quran. You can start reading Quran and you're not enjoying it, and you're bored, and you might want to quit. But if you make yourself like it by maybe making your voice better, or reading it, or keep reading it, maybe you'll start liking it, and then eventually you'll enjoy it. And the same relates to like many stuffs in our lives, like studying. You might not like studying in the beginning, but then when you actually learn the material and you know what's in it, you might start enjoying it and knowing how to like start liking the subject. And yeah, that's my khatara.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. Today is our last day in Mecca. We're going to be leaving soon, inshallah, go to Medina. but so we were doing tawaf al-wada', and which basically this is the last tawaf we're doing here, and then we're gonna be gone inshallah. But when you're doing that and you start when you're doing tawaf any time and you start going towards the Kaaba a little bit, it starts getting crowded because you have Hajj al-Aswad there, you have Hajj al-Yamani over there, and it starts getting very crowded. And then you start feeling, it starts getting a little bit hot, a little bit humid, and then when you start getting very close, khalas, like you're in a spot where you yourself, khalas, you're by yourself, and there's people here, in front of you and behind you. You can't move. You move inch and inch and inch. So this reminded me, on the Day of Judgment, when Allah's going to bring the billions and billions and billions of creations, jinn, ins, everything, and to see that on earth, you can't move because you're doing Umrah here. On the Day of Judgment, it's going to be 10 times worse, and the sun is 1 mile above your head, and people are sweating and sweating and sweating. I felt the heat here. How is it going to be on the Day of Judgment?
I'm asking you this question, and now we are on the way from Mecca to Al-Medina. So just a couple of questions, and they are related. The question is, tell me something that you wanted to do in Mecca, but you didn't do it, or you were not able to do it. And the second question, if we go back to Mecca, what would you do? يلا شباب.
So we all have basically the same answer, inshallah. So the first question is answer to the first question is we prayed in Hajar Ismail. We wish we kissed the black stone and touched it. And the third one was get a chair for waqf at the Masjid Haram. And for the second question is, I wish we did all those. I want to do all those when we come back, inshallah.
guys. Any additions, Anwar?
Yeah, I had the exact same ones.
What about you, Leah?
For sure, those. So for sure, there's a lot more. Of course, there's a lot more that we could have spent our time doing. We could have done more of Qiyam al-Layl, could have done more reading, could have done more memorization. I wish we did that more. But if I had to narrow it down to 3 things, I think it would be those 3.
Barakallah feekum. You still have the chance, inshallah, in Al-Medina. Okay. Barakallah.
So what are the questions?
So there's 2 questions. So now, as you can see, we're leaving Mecca. Mecca is behind us. So the 2 questions are: what is something you didn't do in Mecca? That's the first question. The second question, a follow-up to that, is what is something you wish you could have done in Mecca?
So I never had i'tikaf in Masjid al-Haram. Like I wish I had i'tikaf in Masjid al-Haram. Like to stay there at least like for 1 full day, like day and night, sleep over there, like not eating from outside, just like staying inside. One day I was hearing about Imam al-Qayyim, and he was so sick, and he got like healed by just reciting Al-Fatiha and drinking only Zamzam water, like for only 7 days, and he kept doing that. So I wish if I can be staying like in Masjid al-Haram, drinking Zamzam water, no eating, just focusing on ibadah. And I think I missed that. This is the thing that I'm really missing, and I want to do it, inshallah.
Reality.
Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Behind us is Al-Baqi', the graveyard in Medina. We just came back after Fajr. After every Salah they bury somebody, and we took part of that, alhamdulillah. When you enter there, and you're burying somebody, I think the first thing that came to my mind, even though I'm burying somebody I don't know, the first thing that came to me is myself. I was thinking of myself. I don't know if that's a little bit selfish or not, but the thought came to me, when is it going to be that somebody's going to be over me and is going to be burying me? And it's just like a scary feeling. You have hundreds and hundreds and thousands of bodies around you and you're just walking around. It's a scary feeling, and it just it puts you in a different perspective. That's my thought.
So the best thing I saw about Al-Baqiyah is that they don't distinguish the bodies with a tomb that says the name and who it is. And I think if they did say that, like say the Sahabas that were buried here, a lot of people would go to the Sahabas and make dua for them and forget about the other graves. And I think it's better, like when you go in there, you don't make dua, you make salam to you also make dua to the graveyard, to the people that are dead, but you also make salam to them, and you say Assalamu alaikum أهل الديار من المؤمنين إن شاء الله
أنتم السابقون
أنتم السابقون وإنا إن شاء الله بكم لاحقون.
نسأل الله لنا ولكم العافية.
نسأل الله لكم ولنا عافية.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. We are in front of Al-Baqiyah. But actually my Khateras is not about Al-Baqiyah. Like when I came to the Masjid of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and being in front of his graveyard, the thing that came in my mind, like if I'm following the Sunnah or not, if I'm trying like to say it's just a Sunnah and I'm not following it or not. And I just remember the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said like when he be standing in front of his house, and like some of the angels might be grabbing some people away from him because they have not followed the Sunnah as they are expected, and they have changed after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to follow his Sunnah and the Sunnah of Khulafa ar-Rashidin min ba'di. Go for his boys of Umrah. Some of them decided like no, we're going to stay and hold firm to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said and mentioned to us, and we're going to defend the believers from their back during the Ghazwa. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned like some of you, like after that, like this shows like some of you was loving the dunya more than the akhirah, and some of you was loving the akhirah more than the dunya. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like he tried to keep you away from the disbelievers, to like give a qila for you. This was a qila, like what happened in Ghazwa was completed qila for the believers at this time. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he knew that the Muslims were repenting to him and making like a sincere tawbah, he mentioned وَلَقَدْ عَفَى اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala completely forgive like all the people who participated in that. This was the first verse. إِسْتُصْعِدُونَ وَلَا تُلْوُونَ عَلَى أَحَدٍ. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, remember that like when you went up to the mountain of the archers, like you were trying to defend, and then like when they went back to Uhud, like to protect their back, that you were trying to run away from the disbelievers. You start to have fear, and you start to be amazed at what's happening. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala فَأَثَابَكُمْ غَمًّا بِغَمٍّ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you a severe sadness. Because the first sadness that the believers had at this time, that they were almost losing the battle. The second thing, which is more bad for them, that they started hearing that the Prophet has died. And some people start saying like the Prophet has died. And some people, like some of the believers at this time, the Muslim Ummah, like the Muslims at this time, they started like throwing their swords, and they said like the Prophet has died. Some of the believers were protecting the Prophet ﷺ, and some of the believers said like the famous sentence.
So something that really came to my mind here is Khalid ibn Walid in this battle. As you saw in this battle, Khalid ibn Walid was against the Muslims and fighting against the Muslims, and he was one of the main causes for the Muslims to not win. But as you saw years later, Khalid ibn Walid converted and became a Muslim, and he started being a good reason for Muslims to win battles. He was a really good Muslim, and this shows like how someone could become different. And if you see someone else that's doing some things bad, you never know, he could like switch and become way better. And yeah.
Ready? What amazed me about the battle is the Prophet ﷺ, how he was able to make one decision that saved the entire army. So after Khalid bin Walid went behind the army and started killing the Muslims, even at the time the Prophet ﷺ got injured, the Prophet ﷺ moved his back towards the mountain over there, and this saved the army. So I
Can you give
just
us more description where the army was? Where is Uhud? Where is the mountain of the archers?
This is so right here where I'm standing was the army of the Muslims. On that side over there is the army of the disbelievers, and you can see over there where the people are standing over there. That's the army of the archers, or the mountain of the archers. So that's where they were. Khalid bin Walid tried many times to go behind, but the archers were there.
And where is Uhud?
Uhud is over there on the right side. So
Yeah,
that's
this is Uhud, the big mountain, yes.
So as Khalid bin Walid was trying many times to go over, he couldn't because the archers were there. But as you know, when the archers saw the spoils of war and they thought the Muslims won, 40 out of 50 of them came down and 10 of them stayed. Khalid bin Walid took the opportunity to go behind and started killing. So what I want to highlight is the ability or the skill.
So you are telling us that if you are standing like this, like the army of the Muslims, you after the Khalid ibn Walid came, he came from your back.
Yes.
So now you are surrounded from.
So on both sides, I'm sandwiched now.
Yeah.
So what I want to highlight here is the ability or the skill to make the right decision.
And what was the right decision that he sallallahu alaihi wasallam made to save the army?
He took his army, he shifted it, and he moved his back towards the back to the mountain of Uhud. And this is so now modern strategy. It's very clear now. Now we know your back. If somebody has your back, khalas, you're done. You can't be sandwiched between. So when he shifted, khalas, his back is to the mountain. He has nobody behind him. So now he can kind of push back a little bit. He can protect. And this, I believe, this decision saved the whole army. But not just that, I just wanted to highlight the skill of being able to make that decision or make the right decision or have the wisdom. Because a lot of people say, if you have the knowledge, you have to have wisdom behind it. So even at the time of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, even Umar al-Khattab was telling him, don't fight those people. They're still Muslims. They're not kuffar. They're just not paying zakat. So don't fight them yet. But Abu Bakr made the right decision in fighting everybody.
I hear and I see here, like I feel like I'm in the field of the battle and imagining like there was of blood over here and how this blood saved like Muslims later and many battles. Like while we are going through the history, you would have seen like this situation has repeated, like how the Muslims usually like try to protect their back with any of the mountains, repeating like what Dia has mentioned. And I was studying like some of the seerah of الصحابة and the tabi'een, and they were saying like كنا نعلمهم الغزوات, like they were teaching the غزوات of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم كما نعلمهم القرآن, like we were teaching them like what happened in the غزوات of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم as we are teaching them القرآن. And I was trying to imagine like how like this different armies of the Muslims like in different generations were doing the same thing as the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, till I read this sentence like كنا نعلمهم الغزوات كما كنا نعلمهم القرآن. We were teaching them what happened in those battles the same as we were teaching them the Quran of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is like a great thing, like try to learn the history of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the seerah of the Khulafa al-Rashidin. And it's not a waste of the time, if your time, like if you are teaching this history and learning this history and trying to think and stress in every single point to make use of it. And may Allah have mercy on everyone who participated in Uhud. And the last thing that when I start thinking like, would I be able like to be defending the Prophet ﷺ during the battle or not? Like this is like, I'm not sure if I will be able to do that. Like some of the great companions of the Prophet ﷺ said, like, كنا إذا اشتد الوطيس نختبئ ونحتمي خلف رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Like when the battle goes so bad and so hard, we would be going behind the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. So I think like I am weaker than them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring someone to be doing the same as the Sahaba who were doing a good job for Muslims later.
So I don't have a khatira, but I do want to share some thoughts that I have on this place. And I think this place is really amazing, coming over here, seeing where the archers are at, where the Jabal Uhud is, the place where the Shuhada took place, the place where the fight took place. I think it's amazing, and you can kind of start imagining how the fight went and how it took place. But when Sheikh Muhammad Ali was explaining it, and just all that just going in your head is pretty cool. It's amazing, and it makes you want to be here one of these days, like just to go into one of these fights, subhanAllah, and just try to be a shaheed, inshallah. But I think it's just a different experience to witness something like this and to see like where the shuhada are, where the fight took place, where the archers are, how they went towards the back, to where they shifted towards the back. It's just, I think it's very amazing, subhanAllah.
Noor ad-Din Ali, did you achieve your goals that you mentioned on day one? Give us some reflections. Yeah. Did you achieve your goals, Ya Noor, that you mentioned on day one of Umrah? Did you memorize Surah Al-Baqarah? I'll come to the don't worry. Where are you, Ya Noor, in terms of your goals? How much did you achieve?
I reviewed some of Surah Al-Baqarah.
Some. Can you quantify how much is this sum?
I went through the whole thing at least a couple times.
But did you memorize? That was not your goal.
Yeah, the trip isn't over.
Huh?
The trip isn't over.
The trip is not over, yes. You still have few. So, Ya Noor, what else did you miss, and what else? What is good that you did? You did over there.
Something. Let's see.
And by the way, there were multiple dua. May Allah reward them the best. They made dua for Qiyamul Layl. That Allah made Qiyamul Layl easy for them.
Something for my goal. I didn't really achieve everything. I achieved some.
Did you achieve any?
Not the full thing. It's like
Why
parts
not?
of each one.
Why not?
Didn't have enough time.
Why?
Slept too much.
Why did you sleep so much?
I mean, 5-6 hours. That's
So after the Umrah, are you gonna get back to the old Noor, or is there gonna be any change? Noor after
Any
Umrah,
change.
what change? Sleep more?
no. Inshallah, memorize the whole Quran. Read the whole Quran once a week. Maybe not once. Maybe once a month. Maybe not once. Maybe once a year.
You see, it's gonna start fading out, but just read it once a year. طيب يلا هيثم.
Why is he alive?
Goals. How much did you achieve from your goals, يا هيثم?
Alhamdulillah, Umrah achieved.
Alhamdulillah.
Memorized a couple surahs from the juzah that I planned.
Which juz did you plan?
Jazaakumullah.
Juz Amma. So you memorized قل هو الله أحد? That's good, mashallah يعني.
No, obviously.
No, والله يا هيثم, as long as you keep building up, you will be there. Do not forget what you memorized, and never belittle anything good that you have done. ناخد ضياء وبعد كده نرجع لك.
Me?
Yes.
So the trip isn't done yet. So we still have time, right?
Do you want me to record another video يعني once we're in Seattle? So let's make a checkpoint.
It depends.
Let's make a checkpoint. Where are we right now? How much did you achieve out of your goals?
Okay, so listening. So like I was mainly listening to what I was gonna memorize, and so I wasn't really listening to the whole Quran. I was just listening to what I was memorizing.
Good.
As of memorizing, I've memorized a fifth of what I've wanted to do.
Uh-huh. Which means يعني this doesn't have to be bad. Maybe you had very aggressive goal at the beginning. Maybe you set the bar way high.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think I could have done it.
You say I'm trying to be positive.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to be
yeah.
roasting.
Yeah.
So that you see after the Umrah I changed myself.
What else? Oh, reading. Reading. I've read about a third of the Quran, I think. So
Good.
I think by the time we're finished, I think I'll be finished. I'd memorize 10 pages and read half of the Quran, I think. But
Inshallah.
not listen to anything. So that Khateras I did about time management, hopefully it didn't go up.
يا مولانا.
Have I mentioned any goals?
Yeah, you did.
You said you'll read the whole Quran 6 times. You'll memorize the whole Quran.
Oh, but you
you'll
can't really.
listen to everything.
You said you wanted your sins to be forgiven.
Yeah, so I don't know. This was an easy goal. No, actually, the thing that I had in the last day, like usually when someone asks me about like what do you love more, like Mecca or Medina, I usually say Mecca, like because of the Kaaba. Like I love being in front of the Kaaba.
Ah, did I change your mind?
No, it's not. When I was in Medina, like I was doing the Sunnah before Fajr. So I started thinking, okay, this is my last prayer in Medina today for Fajr, yani. And it came to my mind the story of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, he was like the Amir of Medina at some point, and there was Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqaf, like the one who was ruling some parts. He was doing Hajj, and he was planning to visit Medina. So Umar ibn Abdul Aziz sent a message to Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. He was telling him, tell him don't come to Medina. I'm not welcoming him to enter Medina. So Abdul Malik ibn Marwan sent message back to Al-Hajjaj, don't go to Al-Medina because some people doesn't like you over there. So Hajj ibn Yusuf started getting so angry with Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. He started talking ill about Umar ibn Aziz with Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. So Abdul Malik ibn Marwan fired Umar ibn Aziz from his position as Amir of Medina. So Umar ibn Aziz had to get back to Damascus, to Damascus. And the way back, he was getting back, he was crying, and he was telling his friend, إني لأخاف أن تكون المدينة نافتني كما تنفي خبثها. I am so worried the Medina is kicking me out, that the Prophet ﷺ said تنفي خبثها, or تنفي شرورها, that the Medina is getting the people or evil outside of it, it's kicking it out of it. And this is what we see along the time, anyone is doing evil is getting out of Medina. So this is the feeling that came to my mind. Am I evil? Am I leaving? Would I be able to get back again one time or not? So this is the feeling came to my mind before Fajr. And may Allah make us return back to Al-Medina. The other suit I have, I made dua for the whole group. We are here for Umrah, but I made dua more for Haytham and Noor. Because subhanAllah, they started the invitation for Umrah. Because they were starting the Umrah and they were insisting on it. They came to my house 2 times, let's go for it, and they were insisting on doing that, looking for the airlines, prices and everything, and they were arranging for it.
So let's ask them, Haytham and Noor, if times go back, would you go for the skydiving or for the Umrah?
Umrah 100%.
Sure.
Maybe Dubai skydiving after the Umrah.
Okay. Because I think it evolved from skydiving to bungee jumping to Umrah, correct?
There was a Vancouver trip as well, as well as California trip as well.
But then it ended up to Umrah.
And then Oregon trip, one day Oregon trip, and then ended up with Umrah. Yeah. So alhamdulillah, who blessed us. The thing that we need to make dua for, to may Allah accept our Umrah. This is the thing that we need to make dua for.
Ameen.
Yeah. In the last verse, I start thinking فإذا قضيتم مناسككم فاذكروا الله كذكركم آباءكم أو أشد ذكرا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this for after Hajj, when you finish your virtues of Al-Hajj, تذكروا الله كذكركم آباءكم أو أشد ذكرا, to make dhikr Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we are in a situation that we need to make dhikr more Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So may Allah give us the strength and the power to keep doing what we were able to do over there in those blessed places, inshallah.
To what? Sleep over there? The way they were sleeping over there, or what? Yeah?
As you were doing shopping and going to the bank.
Or eating al-bake?
No. شروق, staying till شروق.
Staying where? Till Shuruq.
At the masjid.
طيب.
And البقيع, قيام الليل. قيام الليل. طواف. سعي.
There's actually something I was mentioning to Dr. Muhammad in the aeroplane, when I was leaving after Dhuhr, I used to sit alhamdulillah in Medina, in the very front lines in the Musalla. The people, when I was going, everyone stand up, give me a hug, نستودع الله لنا كراماتك وخواتيم أعمالك, don't forget us from your dua, we want to see you back again.
يعني مولانا, you stayed for 5 days in Al-Medina. And the people who pray in the front line, they will miss you and they started hugging you.
Yeah, Allah, subhanallah.
And you left Seattle
Yeah.
and no one asked about you.
Only one. I have only one asking about me like in the 3 weeks. Only one like sent me like, where have you been? I have not seen you for a while. But like
That's a record. That's
yeah.
good.
But in Medina, I have the most of the front line. Alhamdulillah, they came and say salam to me. Alhamdulillah.
Is the front line the same?
Yes,
Mostly, yeah,
yes.
they're the same.
People who pray at the front line over there, they are the same. But
So-
people who pray anywhere, people who pray يعني في الساحة outside, probably they are the same. But because the ساحة is big, you do not see each other.
No. We don't pray in the Saha outside. We pray
In the hotel, in the mall.
We pray in the Rawda.
Yeah?
In the Rawda.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله.